Sometimes this is how it starts. A comment on a video. That lets you know that someone else has gone missing, or someone else has been found, usually deceased. But in either case, word of mouth is everything, especially in a missing person's case. Thank you, Sam Elliott, for bringing Kathleen more to my attention yesterday. And yes, we can tell her story. So, when San wrote that message, I was doing a million things. And it became 1,000,001. I immediately Googled Kathleen's name, assuming it must be a missing person, but also thinking it could be a cold case, because I share those too. And I started to type her name in the search. Kathleen Moore, and all the options popped up, in the feed, and one of them was missing, so I clicked that, and I found a few things, and of course my heart broke again. I don't care what anybody says, the heart is a hell of an organ. It can break so many times and still be repaired, and still love, and still want so passionately. So anyway, I had to put a pin in it, but as soon as I could, I got right back into it, because I like to give things my undivided attention. And I immediately just became engulfed with her story. I always follow my heart with the stories. I try to tell as many as I can, but I want my heart to be really, really into it, so that the words I say, they come from my soul. Like now, it's just how I feel. And how I feel is, it don't make no damn sense that you can go out, excuse me, to a concert, have a grand old time, leave your friends, get in the car with your boyfriend, and nobody ever sees you again. So far, that's Kathleen's story, in a nutshell. I don't have a lot of details because there aren't a lot out there, but what I have just shared is directly from the friend that she was with the last time anybody saw her. She left that friend's house and got in the car with her boyfriend to go to his house. And this guy is supposed to be an on-again, off-again boyfriend, but that's how they described him. They leave to go to his house, and that's it. It's been about 5 to 6 days. They've already searched his home and the landfill. It's not looking good. I know that we have a creator, Bullhorn Betty, that is boots on the ground already. So please check her out, and I'll stay in the loop too to see what they find over there. But allegedly a homeless man found her phone in the dumpster, so at least we'll have that, right? But yeah, that happened. And I did hear some things from Bullhorn Betty, but I'll leave that to her to share with you guys. As far as the media, the phone is really the only thing they've talked about. Unfortunately, we just don't have a lot. But the fact that they're searching a landfill and the boyfriend's home, yeah, we can start to add up what they're thinking. The forensic team was on site, sent dogs. But let me share with you what's out there. And please share her story.
Developing scene. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office Forensic Unit pulling up to the scene at the Pasco County landfill. The deputies are searching for a possible connection to the disappearance of 34-year-old Kathleen Moore, who's been missing since Monday. And not too far away in Newport Richey, authorities are at the home of Moore's boyfriend here in the Tampa Bay area. So let's get into the story of Kathleen Moore. Last seen November, let's bring up her pictures here. Last seen November 29th, 34 years old, and friends with Jessica Brummett, that you see there on the right side of your screen. Jessica sending us these photos, considers her a best friend, sisters, if you will, and gave us permission to share these photos with our audience. Kathleen had been living in Clearwater, Florida. She was last seen by Jessica Brummett last Thursday for Thanksgiving at her parents' home, Jessica Brummett's parents' home. You saw the parents there in a previous photo in Newport Richey. The parents very close with Kathleen as well. Brummett said that she messaged with Kathleen on Sunday morning on Facebook Messenger. That's the last time that they had any communication with one another. Brummett said that Kathleen, right side of your screen, was at a friend's home in Largo, left her car there, and then took an Uber to see her boyfriend in Newport Richey. Now, the Pasco County Sheriff's Office says that she was last seen around 1 a.m. on Carmel Avenue on November 29th, so early that morning. Literally last seen that night of November 28th going into November 29th. Now, according to Brummett, Kathleen got into an argument with her boyfriend on Sunday night and was trying to leave the scene of that argument with her boyfriend. She had FaceTime with a friend saying that she was waiting for an Uber to leave the scene of that confrontation.
So there seems to be some conflicting information, because we'll hear from her friend in just a moment that says she left her house with the boyfriend. But we just heard JB say that another friend said that she FaceTimed with Kathleen, and Kathleen said she was waiting on an Uber. So I think they may have it mixed up a little bit. I think, of course, the friend knows who she left with. So she left with her boyfriend and went to her boyfriend's house, where I believe her and her boyfriend got into an argument, and then the Uber was called to take her away from the boyfriend's house, since her car was still at her friend's house from earlier. I know that might sound a little tricky, but I promise you it makes sense. It took me a minute too. Let's keep rolling.
To that developing story out of Newport Richey, where police spent the day searching for a missing Largo woman. 34-year-old Kathleen Moore was last seen at her boyfriend's house early Monday morning. And new tonight, we're hearing from those who miss her the most. As ABC Action News reporter Mason Morrow reports, investigators are now asking for any tips that could help bring her home.
At this point, we're not sure. We're trying to gather all the information we can to find her.
Nikki Wallen spent all of Sunday with her best friend of 20 years. Wallen says after the two returned from a late-night concert, Moore left her vehicle at Wallen's house and rode with her boyfriend to his home.
Sunday, when she walked out my front door, took her heels off that were hurting her feet, that are still by my front door. I never heard from her again.
On Monday, she didn't show up for school or work. She missed her bartending shift at Whiskey Wings again on Tuesday.
I started calling people like, hey, have you heard from Kathleen?
Pasco County investigators say Moore's cell phone was found in a dumpster outside a Newport Richey Walgreens. Friday night, while a forensics team searched the house on Carmel Avenue, those who know and love Moore met at her favorite spot to share stories and well wishes.
It's always the same people here, and they won't come unless she's working. Like when she's off, they're mad.
Tim McGough is a regular at St. Petersburg Sports Bar. Moore is his favorite bartender.
Sweetest person, great to everybody. All the customers loved her.
He considers the woman across the bar top not only a friend, but happy hour family.
I would like to think that she's okay. I would hope that, but I don't know.
I'm Mason Morrow, ABC Action News.
According to Jessica Brummett, the best friend who sent us the pictures that we've been showing here on WFLA Now, a homeless man was searching for food not too far away from where this has all been going on. And a homeless man found Kathleen's cell phone, found the phone in a dumpster at a Walgreens near the boyfriend's home, and told, and this all this information coming from the closest friend, Jessica Brummett, the mother spoke to, now as I understand it, the mother of Kathleen Moore spoke with this homeless man, recorded video of him, and the cracked cell phone has been turned over to deputies. The cracked cell phone that was Kathleen Moore's, found in a dumpster by a homeless man just searching for food at a Walgreens in the area near the boyfriend's home. Now, let's make that very clear. The Walgreens itself is near the boyfriend's home in Newport Richey. That cracked cell phone has been turned over to deputies. Now, we're going to have another live feed to bring you here momentarily, folks. Another live feed that we're going to be showing you, and that live feed is from Newport Richey. We're going to be taking you live to the boyfriend's home where the Pasco County Sheriff's Office is currently on the scene. We do not know whether or not the Pasco County Sheriff's Office has anything on the boyfriend right now. We do have, of course, these details from Kathleen Moore's friend talking to WFLA News Channel 8 and talking to Justin Checker, saying that there was this confrontation, this fight, and that Kathleen Moore was trying to leave the scene, try to get away, or leave that scene in an Uber. And that then the phone of Kathleen Moore was discovered in the dumpster at a Walgreens nearby. Who put it there? We're now getting in the feed, everybody. The feed just popped up, and let's go now live.
8 on your side, Moore and her boyfriend were at her family's home last Thursday for Thanksgiving. That is the last time she saw her. Moore works as a bartender in St. Petersburg, but never showed up to work on Monday morning. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office is investigating this missing persons case. Brummett told me with each passing day, she's becoming more worried about the well-being of a friend she considers a sister. A Pasco Sheriff spokesperson says they will continue to follow up on any leads and tips they receive about Kathleen Moore's disappearance throughout the county. And the close friend also tells 8 on your side earlier this week, a homeless man searching for food in a dumpster at a nearby Walgreens found Kathleen Moore's cell phone. I'm told that phone has been turned over to the Pasco County Sheriff's Office as part of their investigation. Be sure to stay with News Channel 8 for any updates on the search for missing Kathleen Moore. Hey, JB, good evening to you. We just wrapped up our live report on News Channel 8 at 6. We are here on Carmel Avenue in Newport Richey. You can see the crime tape set up behind me. Pasco County Sheriff's deputies have been focused on searching a home. We're told it belongs to missing Kathleen Moore's boyfriend. I'll step out of the way. Our photojournalist Chris Corner can zoom on in here. This is the last known area where Kathleen Moore was seen around 1 in the morning on Monday. As I mentioned to you, JB, I had a conversation with a close friend who considers Kathleen like a sister. Jessica Brummett tells 8 on Your Side that Moore took an Uber over to this address sometime Sunday evening, and that is the last time anyone heard from her, that she came to see the boyfriend here, and again, 1 a.m. is the last time she's known to be seen. The friend also tells 8 on Your Side, as you can see this member of the sheriff's office takes some evidence bags out of the home here. Another key piece of information, JB, the close friend tells me that her cell phone was located in a dumpster by a homeless man at a Walgreens that we actually passed on our drive to the house here. That phone was found either Monday or Tuesday, and the friend says that has been turned over to the sheriff's office. Again, it's interesting to think about that phone being found in the dumpster, as you've been showing the images to our viewers of the of Eagle 8 HD flying over the landfill a little north of here in Spring Hill, the Pasco County landfill there. So, again, we are on the scene here, JB. Fast-moving investigation with deputies at least 2 scenes this evening connected to the search for this missing woman, Kathleen Moore.
8 on Your Side's Justin Checker. Justin, we were just reporting a moment ago that the Pasco County Forensics Unit, let's talk about the landfill connection. And now, as we're zooming in here, Chris Coiner, right on point, our photographer here at WFLA. Justin, we'll talk more about the landfill in a second. Can we just kind of talk about what's going on here behind you?
Again, you're looking at the forensic van from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. It appeared this person just put several bags, presumably of evidence, into the van. Again, we've been out here since about 4:30. They've been out here a couple hours before we arrived. And again, they've been focused on this home here on Carmel Avenue, which we're told is the home where her boyfriend lived. And again, this is the last known location where this missing woman was seen around 1 o'clock on Monday morning.
Now, Jessica Brummett told you, Justin, in your reporting that there was an argument that took place. Is that correct? What do we know about Kathleen Moore's boyfriend, other than the fact that he lives in Newport Richey, and other than this argument, this fight that occurred before her disappearance?
Well, JB, you know our procedures at this point. We are not naming or identifying this boyfriend. I can tell you we do know who this person is. And one thing that the close friend Jessica told me was last Thursday, Kathleen and the boyfriend were at her family's home here in Newport Richey for Thanksgiving. And that was the first time Jessica told me she had met this boyfriend. Again, she told me it was Sunday, sometime Sunday afternoon, evening. She took that Uber from a friend's house in Largo, left her car in Largo, took the Uber here. And again, that's when they never made it back. All she mentioned to me was that Kathleen had tried to call another friend, saying there had been some argument with the boyfriend and that she'd been waiting for a ride to be picked up, but that's the last anyone heard from her Sunday evening going into Monday morning.
So here's a big question that we got, and let's see if we can animate it again. It was the first question that we took here on our live stream. It comes from Allison Johnson. It was a perfect question to kick things off as far as the interactive questions that we take here on WFLA Now. She asked, #KJB, does the Uber driver show that they picked her up, or was the ride canceled? When Allison is asking, did she ever get in that Uber the last time that we had heard of Kathleen Moore?
That is a great question, JB. I don't have the answer to that particular question. I can also tell our viewers this young woman works as a bartender down in St. Petersburg, and she never showed up to work on Monday. So I think that's when the friends really started growing concerned about her whereabouts and her well-being, that this woman did not show up to work on Monday.
And you interviewed, Justin, Jessica Brummett. Can you explain to our viewers, for those just joining us, who Jessica Brummett is in relation to Kathleen Moore? Kathleen Moore, the missing woman here on the right side of your screen, folks. And there's Jessica. There's the photo of the four of them. There's Jessica Brummett all the way on the right. Can you explain their connection?
So Jessica basically says Kathleen is like a sister to her, that they met growing up in the same apartment complex when they were 11 years old. So this is 23 years ago. They're both 34-year-olds now. And really, her family's almost been like a second family to Kathleen. You can see that photo, how they spent Thanksgiving together. So they're just very tight, close-knit friends, almost like sisters. And she's one of many friends who've been posting on Facebook, on social media the past few days, trying to share Kathleen's photo, trying to get the word out to try to help the sheriff's office try to find her and bring her home safe.
Now, we now have a portion of that interview that I believe, Justin, that was an interview that you did with Jessica Brummett. So we're about to hear from Jessica Brummett. What do you have to say? This is now the interview, so I'd like for you just to be able to introduce it.
You'll see just how emotional she is. With each passing day, she's becoming more worried about the well-being of her close friend. Take a listen now.
Trying to stay strong for my family. And mentally, it's been the hardest thing. And when I say hard, it's hard because I want to have faith and hope that she comes home so I can hear her infectious laughter and hug her and let her know that I love her. Hard because we're now at 5 days.
It's really hard listening to that, Justin. You can just hear it, that sense of desperation in Jessica's voice, hoping that Kathleen is found safe and sound. Missing for 5 days, this possible landfill connection, and the Pasco County Sheriff's Office searching that landfill. Let's just kind of pivot there for a second. We did see from Eagle 8 HD those forensics units there at the landfill in Pasco County. They are no longer there. They left a little bit before the sunset here in the Tampa Bay area. What do we know, if anything, right now about what was discovered at the landfill there in nearby Pasco County?
Still no official word, JB, about what might have been found. Again, I mentioned the detail from Jessica about her phone having been located in a dumpster at a Walgreens nearby. Obviously, the first thing I'll do when we wrap up this stream, I'll try to reach out to the public information officer with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office to see if anything might have been found. I can tell you they are still seeking tips. We have that information on our website, the number to call. We're going to share her photo as much as we can. Anyone in this Newport Richey area might have been by that Walgreens, which is one of the main State Road 54, Chris? On State Road 54, not too far from the home here. So again, this remains an active missing persons investigation, and I'll be sure to check back in with the sheriff's office whether they found anything over at the landfill. The spokesperson also tells 8 on Your Side they will follow up on any leads and tips they receive throughout this county. But in the other detail I mentioned, JB, that Kathleen had been living over in Clearwater, Pinellas County, but this area here in Pasco County is where the missing person report was filed, and this street here is where she was last seen 5 days ago.
News story. Let's get to Chelsea Loper's comment. We just threw it up here on screen, and Chelsea asking, #HeyJB, do you have a photo of the boyfriend or know anything about him? And Justin noted this a moment ago. The boyfriend isn't a suspect in any crime. He hasn't been charged with anything at this time, so we're not naming him right now. Justin, you know who he is, but he's not being named at this time But let's talk about the fact that his home, you're standing in front of his home, correct? And they just took a lot of bags of belongings out of that home. Do we know if Kathleen Moore lived at this home? Could those belongings have been hers and they're removing some of the items that were Kathleen's from the scene? Or is this just the boyfriend's home based on what we know tonight?
So according to the close friend Jessica, she tells me that Kathleen was living at an address in Clearwater, so she had not been living together with this boyfriend, according to the close friend. Again, we don't know exactly what was removed from this home. Detectives have been here for a couple of hours. You can see the forensic van behind me, and like you mentioned, JB, we did see a few of those brown bags being carried out, but as you know, in these investigations, they'll be pretty tight-lipped about what they found at this point. But again, they've been out here for a couple hours. We did see investigators put a few bags into the van behind me.
Another question that just came in from one of our commenters. We'll leave Justin up here on screen to take this one, and it comes from Donovan Roos, #HeyJB. Where is the boyfriend right now? This is a great question. Justin, do we know if the boyfriend is at the home behind you?
We don't know for sure. Our photojournalist here saw someone drive off who he thinks may have been the boyfriend. I'm going to review that video later because I have seen a photo. We're not sharing that publicly. So we think he might have left from the neighborhood here. We're not 100% sure, but that is another great question from one of our viewers right now.
Yeah, WFLA's Justin Checker. You can follow him, everybody, at WFLA Justin for updates. He's going to be at the scene following up on leads on this story.
Well, obviously, we're going to try to follow up with the sheriff's office to see if anything might have been found over at the landfill. Again, also following up on what the friend told me about the phone, Kathleen Moore's cell phone being found at the nearby dumpster. I just want to mention a few other things that I learned about this young woman in my conversation with her close friend. She has a biological daughter, so she is a mother. The child was adopted, but I'm told Kathleen is still involved in this teenage daughter's life. So we do know she does have one child. I was also told she was taking classes for phlebotomy, and was wrapping that up. And I also mentioned she worked as a bartender at a restaurant down in St. Pete. So just tried to learn as much as I could about this missing woman in my conversation with her close friend. But you heard that really emotional soundbite, JB, that with each passing day, as we know in these missing persons cases, just families and friends become more worried and concerned about their well-being. So we'll probably circle back with Jessica tonight, see if she's any new information, and also try to follow up with the sheriff's office whether anything of consequence was found in this home and over at that landfill, which Eagle 8 HD was flying over earlier today.
Yeah, Justin here answering a question now as it was being asked by unapologetic me, #KJB, is she a mother? And there, of course, you have the answer that yes, 34-year-old Kathleen Moore, a mother. Lindsay Slemp with the final question that we're going to be taking for Justin Checker, #KJB. Another great question. Justin, I was noting earlier, and you know from our coverage together of the Gabby Petito story, that there was so much focus on her cell phone because here in the year 2021, and really it's been this way for some time now, for many years now, your phone has so much information that is pertinent to an ongoing investigation to where your whereabouts. With Gabby Petito, the phone eluded authorities. In this case, we now have the phone discovered by a homeless man in a dumpster at the Walgreens near where you're standing. So Lindsay here is asking, #KJB, where is the Walgreens security footage? Because as we were noting earlier before you hopped on stream with us, whoever put the phone in that dumpster, that's of course going to be a key part in the investigation. Probably we don't, but do we have any idea tonight as to whether or not there's any surveillance video of outside that Walgreens to potentially give us an angle as to who might have dumped the phone inside that dumpster?
Well, from experience, JB, dealing with big corporate companies like Walgreens, they're not going to turn that video over to us. We're probably going to stop by there as well because it's not too far. I imagine there are cameras on that property, and that'll be another question I have for the sheriff's office if they've reviewed any video from that Walgreens. But that is, again, a great question from our viewer there. Just from prior experience, JB, these bigger corporate stores don't tend to turn that video over easily to reporters. And again, we don't know exactly what time it might have been dumped. Again, 1 o'clock on November 29th, Monday morning, is the last time that deputies say Kathleen Moore was seen here
on WFLA News Channel 8. One more time, let's just play back just that portion of an interview that we have with Jessica Brummett. You can hear in Jessica's voice how close she was with Kathleen Moore, how close she is with Kathleen Moore, I should say, how close she is with Kathleen Moore, and how much she is just hoping and praying for her safe return.
Trying to stay strong for my family. And mentally, it's been the hardest thing. And when I say hard, it's hard because I want to have faith and hope that she comes home so I can hear her infectious laughter and hug her and let her know that I love her. Hard because we're now at 5 days.
County. That's where we're going to start. It's been 5 days since anybody last saw Kathleen Moore. She's missing, last seen in Newport Richey. Her family and friends are desperate for answers as Pasco detectives try to track down any leads to find her. Let's get straight to Fox 13's Brianna Arredondo is live in Pasco County. Hi there, Brianna. I know the sheriff's office is investigating her disappearance, and they actually spent some time at her boyfriend's house today. What does that mean? Where does that go?
So, Mark, Pasco deputies did look through Kathleen's boyfriend's house today for hours, and they had that area of the neighborhood blocked off so they could search for clues. Tonight, family and friends say that they really just want to see Kathleen home safe. Kathleen Moore is a daughter, a cousin, a friend, and she is missing.
She didn't show up to work and things like that. I knew that something was terribly wrong because that's not like her. And is very crushing to our family.
Pasco County detectives spent Friday searching for clues into Kathleen's disappearance in Newport Richey. Tape blocked off a section of Carmel Avenue where she was last seen at her boyfriend's house. Kathleen's longtime friend Nicole Wallen tells us Kathleen and her boyfriend came to her house Sunday, and that was the last time she saw her friend.
She left her car here and rode with him in his car to his house. And she said, I'll be back in the morning because she had school and she had work. And then usually she always messages me either on her ride to Newport Richey or when she gets there, she'll start messaging me and say little things. But she didn't message me after she left here. I didn't get any messages from her.
Wallen says she and others soon filed a missing persons report. She says a homeless man found Kathleen's cell phone in a dumpster at Walgreens and detectives recovered it.
At that point, we started going around and trying to find as much information as we can. So looking for surveillance video, anyone that's seen her, anyone that may have talked to her after that time.
Kathleen's family is anxiously waiting for answers and updates so they can hug her and know she's safe.
We're just praying for the best and praying that she come home because our family can't take this. We can't take to hear anything like this or to even go through this. So if you guys know anything, please say something.
And the Pasco County Sheriff's Office also had deputies out searching at a landfill in Spring Hill in connection with Kathleen's disappearance. A spokesperson says that they do not have any persons of interest at this point. They are just focused on finding Kathleen. She lives in Largo, and so the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office is also helping out Pasco with this search. Kathleen's family and friends, her cousin and her friend, tell us that they are worried for her safety, and they really need the community's help with this in order to bring her home soon. Mark?
Certainly understandable why they're concerned, especially if they're looking near a landfill and her phone is in a dumpster. We are hoping the best that she's found safely for sure. Brianna, thanks.
Friends and coworkers of 34-year-old Kathleen Moore surround a table with candles, ribbons, and Kathleen's picture. Kathleen is a bartender and trainer at Whiskey Wings on Roosevelt Boulevard in St. Petersburg. This is the third night they've gathered after sunset at the restaurant, hoping Kathleen comes back soon.
Kathleen is very loved here at this restaurant, not only by the staff, but by the customers. We're a very strong family here. So I figured that when we didn't hear from Kat by Wednesday, I figured she was just lost in the dark. So this isn't a memorial that we made for her. It's just lighting her way home so she can find her way back to us.
Kathleen was last seen around 1 a.m. on Monday, November 29th. Since then, the Pasco County Sheriff's Office says they've searched her boyfriend's house near Newport Richey and a landfill in Spring Hill due to a possible connection with her disappearance. Before she was reported missing, Kat's boss at Whiskey Wings noticed something wasn't right. Kat wasn't responding to texts or answering her phone, which friends say is out of character.
I called, it went straight to voicemail, so I knew that's when her phone was off. She was scheduled to be here at work Monday night. When she didn't show up or call, something was up. So I called the police first thing Tuesday morning.
She's just the most energetic, full of life, positive person you could ever meet. She's just, she draws you in like that. That's why there's so many people that are worried about her. It's like you meet her once and you're just like, you're so drawn in by her positivity.
At this point, they just want answers and hope they can be reunited with their friend and coworker soon. Justin Matthews, Fox 13 News.
And family and friends are anxiously awaiting updates. So far, no arrests have been made.